Welcome back to America Right Now. In our Faith in America segment this week, pro-abortion activists targeting Catholic churches. Will the overturning of Roe v. Wade give rise to more church vandalism and anti-Catholic, anti-Christian attacks? The founder of Priests for Life, Father Frank Pabon, joins us now to discuss. Father Pabon, always good to see you.
Hi, Tom.
What a week. First, let me get your reaction to the news that Roe v. Wade could be overturned and states could have more latitude now on how to restrict abortion practices.
Well, Tom, of course, I'm elated, as are so many tens of millions of pro-life people across America. Even though this is not the final decision, it's clear this is the direction the court is going. And this is something that we've been working for 50 years. I began in this struggle in 1976, just 3 years after Roe v. Wade. And I've been doing it full time for the last 30. So it's a cause of great joy. We see the prayers and sacrifices of people for the last 5 decades now coming to a fruition. And it's not the end of the battle, obviously. We need to go much farther, because when the court says to the legislators, now you can legislate more effectively on this matter, well, then we've got to work with the legislators to do so and elect the right legislators who will do so.
Father, there are a lot of hysterical claims. There's a lot of misinformation being spread to play upon people's emotions. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I was talking to Congressman about this just a few minutes ago. Ruth Bader Ginsburg even believed that Roe was wrongly decided and very overbroad. What should people know about this ruling? We want to tamp down some of the emotion here. What should they know about this ruling, and how could it change the way that the issue is addressed?
We have to understand in our system of government that it is not only judges who are taken oath to uphold the Constitution. It's also lawmakers. And what this decision simply does is puts the question of the protection of the unborn, switches it from the courts to the legislatures. Because for the last 50 years, the courts have said to the Congress, and they have said to the state legislators, you cannot protect the unborn. So a person, a viewer sitting at home, hearing all these conflicting messages, needs to ask one simple question. Do I want to be governed by unelected judges or by my elected lawmakers? Do I want the final decision in our society on something as important as abortion to be made by somebody whom I cannot go in and sit down with, I cannot lobby, and I cannot vote out of office if I'm unhappy with their decisions? Mm-hmm. Or do I want it decided by people whom I can lobby and whom I can vote in or out of office? So this decision, if what Justice Alito said comes to pass as the official, that doesn't make abortion illegal. It simply gives more power to the people to decide if it will be legal or not.
Father, it seems like the Biden White House and Democrats are using this issue to, in some ways, excuse a new round of sort of anti-Catholic, anti-Christian protests and rhetoric. Your thoughts on what we've seen so far, and how concerned are you about protests, things like protests at Mass and church vandalism, which is already on the rise in this country?
Tom, isn't it interesting that when the other side says, oh, most of the American people agree with Roe v. Wade, oh, they're on our side, oh, this is settled law, well, then why are they behaving this way? Why don't they simply relax and say, listen, the court wants to put it back to the legislators. We have a persuasive case to make, and therefore we'll make the case and we'll keep abortion legal. If they were reasonable, and if they really believed their own rhetoric, that's what they would do. Mm-hmm. But no, instead, they're behaving like lunatics. Now, we have no problem with protest. In fact, I have no problem with peaceful protest conducted on public property, even if it's near a church. The fact of the matter, though, is that these people are calling for tantrums. They're calling for disruption of religious services. I mean, why don't they protest at the state capitals where the action is going to be if this decision comes to pass? But no, the position in favor of abortion is very much rooted in a denial of God and a hatred of the church. We have seen this for decades.
Yeah. And it's all from one corner of our politics, unfortunately. All right, we're going to be talking, I'm sure, a lot more about this, Father Frank. Father Frank Pabon, thank you for your insights today.